Hi there, everybody. Just a quick intro here. Welcome to 49ers 2020, the remote version. We got to thank Colleen Foster for this from New Mexico Tech Office of Advancement. She came up with this idea a couple of months ago, asked us if we had a video. From the old days, we don't. So we've tried to put together sort of a Zoom-like quilt of live recordings we did individually and, of course, very remotely distanced. We picked 3 songs. Denby picked 3 songs, and he'll be in a little bit later to talk to you. But Denby picked 3 songs that he thought kind of capture the band, and that some of them we think you'd like quite a bit. So we hope you enjoy. We hope you're safe. We hope we can see you next year, and enjoy the show.
3, 4. Last night I dreamed you were back again, larger than life again, holding me tight again, placing those same kisses on my brow. Sweeter than ever now, Lord, I remember how. Couldn't get enough of kissing. Do you know how much you're missing? No, you don't, but I do. Like the slow train trickle by, even words that I write refuse to lie. All I can hear is your song haunting me. Can't get the melody out of my head, you see. Distractions I've been using. Do you know how much you're losing? No, you don't, but I do. That you can do. I never meant to push or shove you. Do you know how much I love you? No, you don't, but I do. I swore I'd never fall like this again. To my knees again. Can't close the door on the likelihood things might be just as good. Always believed they would. Gotta let your love invite me. Baby, do you think it might be? No, you don't, but I do. But I do. And I wonder if I'm past the point of rescue. Is no word from you and all the best that you can do. Never meant to push or shove you. You know how much I love you. No, you don't, but I do. But I do. And I wonder if I'm past the point of rescue. Is no word from you and all the best that you can do. Never meant to push or shove you. Do you know how much I love you? No, you don't, but I do. Oh, no, you don't, but I do. Oh, no, you don't, but I do.
Okay, this next song is an interesting tune we took from a very obscure album from a trio comprised of Rick Denko from the band, the bass player, and Eric Anderson, American musician, and Jonas Fjeld from Norway. They put out an album in the early 90s with Americana before Americana was really popular, and it caught my attention, and we stole this off of that album. It's called When Morning Comes to America.
My father would shower for work every day. He'd sing by the old radio. We listened there to that rhythm each day, wondering how one man could sing down so low. Then my cousin brought money from worlds far away, with colors and strange sounding names. And I searched like a sailor to find where they lay. Said myself I would go there one day. My grandfather gave me an old radio. It played foreign stations from crystals that glow, and just like a comet ready to appear, I knew I'd shine much brighter in that new atmosphere. When morning comes to America, a mother awakens somewhere in the west, a child's content from her breast. The husband soon joins her and walks down the stairs, finding her a ribbon to pull back her hair. When morning comes to America, when morning comes to America.
Hey, Geibitz over there. Why don't you do a little Spaceman for us?
2, 3. Woke up this morning with light in my eyes, then realized it was still dark outside. It was a light coming down from the
got for us? Bruce Mitchell, everybody.
Hey, Mr. Spaceman, won't you please take me along? I won't do anything wrong. Hey, Mr. Spaceman, won't you please take me along for a ride?
All right, thanks everybody. Mr. Spaceman for you.
All right. Do we have a script or anything? What are we doing?
No, we're just going to do what we were doing and kind of visit for a minute. And we're doing this. This is after the show,
Okay.
so we're just really happy.
We were great, by the way.
We were happy
awesome.
with how it went.
I had to ask, well, are we doing this after the show by way of apology or what?
Yeah, and since we haven't seen it, we probably won't see it, so we have to get this done so it can be a part of it. But yeah, it was quite an ordeal getting everybody queued up and getting their parts in. But I thought you wanted to maybe talk about why you weren't able to play. Barry, did you want to speak to that?
Well, I tried really hard. My neurological condition just kept getting in the way, and I wasn't able to pull it off. So sorry for that.
No, man, I know you started before anybody, and it made me nervous.
I gave it a good 2 weeks, and it just wasn't getting any better.
That's a shame. That's a shame. You could play tambourine next time.
Yeah, probably about as well as you. Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't so good. It's nothing to brag about, that's for sure.
Oh, boss, gotta make me look better, like.
Well, I just realized it was kind of dark. But anyway, so you want to kind of introduce the band and talk about who played? And I don't know if you want to start, any one of you. I'll start with Billy Geibitz, usually on my right, which would be that way, I suppose. Guitar player, acoustic mostly on this stuff, although he did play some electric as well. But he lives down there in Socorro, makes guitars and fixes guitars. So say hello to Billy Geibitz. And then next to him is Randy. Randy lives down in San Diego. He's a consulting hydrologist these days, worked for the USGS. So make him welcome. He's playing mandolin. What about you, Denby?
Oh, then further to my right, there is banjo player Bruce Mitchell from Austin, Texas. And he's one of the new guys, only been around 15 years or something. But he's doing well. And then back in the back, we have our fine drummer, Jeff Baseheart, who I was just telling Bo, couldn't remember which town he's in because he moved like 10 years ago and I can't keep up. But
Cobb, California.
Cobb, California, there you go. And then, of course, center stage, our spiritual leader, Bo Putnam, coming to you from Half Moon Bay, California. Barry, you remember anybody else?
Well, I guess I'll start with you, Denby. To my left, to your right is our on the money every time rhythm guitar player, Denby Auble, all the way from Houston, Texas, where he's looking great, by the way. And everybody's really happy with his progress, with his recovery, and we're awful glad you're here. So
yeah, for those of you that don't know, Denby had a double lung transplant early this year. And it was like, how many days were you in hospital? Was it 58?
Forever.
Yeah.
Like 3 months or something.
Yeah.
Good old Barry came down and kept me company. Actually kept my wine stash company. That's what he did.
But then
somebody got to do it. I was glad I could make the sacrifice. And yeah, to my back is our fantastic pair of drummers. Brad Billings from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Jeff Baseheart from, I don't even know where the fuck in California right now, but
There's two of them.
welcome to those guys. And I just want to give one shout out as well. We were all really, really saddened to hear about the passing of Richard Dinkle. He is far and above our #1 fan, and these vigilante gigs never really feel like a gig until Richard shows up at the bar. So we're really sad to hear about his passing.
Yeah.
And those of you that don't know that story, I'm responsible for Dinkle getting to Socorro. I was driving back and forth to Manhattan whenever we had a holiday down in Socorro because there was no women there. So I'd go back and, try to drink my dad's beer. So those were 32-hour trips nonstop, and I was headed back to Socorro in a blizzard, and I couldn't wait. It was coming off of Christmas, New Year's break. Stopped for fuel in Indianapolis, and leaving the gas station, there's this guy standing on the side of the interstate in a blizzard. So I pulled over and I said, "Dude, what are you doing?" He goes, "I don't know, hoping for a ride." I said, "Where are you going?" He goes, "I'm going where you're going." I said, "That's a long way." He goes, "Okay." So we got in the car. I said, "I got beers. Can you open them?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "I got pot. You want to roll a joint?" He said, "Yeah." And that was it. And then every time I went back and forth, he would go with me so he could see his family. And then I'd pick him up as I'm coming back through Indianapolis. So we spent a lot of hours in the car together, and he had a hard life, but he was always a pretty cheerful guy. Back on the band, let's not forget DT teaching.
Oh, DT, yes. How could you forget?
Science there in Socorro and posting the good weird stuff about aliens and all that stuff. He's keeping us all aware. I'm sure he's got images coming out of the White House now. But and last but not least, Jeff Hatchell on the accordion. It's good to see him show up and play that accordion. It's just looking at him just cracked me up. It's just always fun. Just always a fun guy to have around. So that was a treat to have him. I think I'm the only one that's seen all of the videos. Sean's got them right now. I should say what's happening right now is we all recorded remotely, separately by different means with different success rates and different joys of performing. Some weren't joyful at all. And then we uploaded it to Daniel, who built this quilt of Zoom-like images like you're looking at now. But they weren't done at the same time. You can't Zoom synchronously. There's a time lag. There's a smear. There's a latency on the internet that varies by where you are from the servers, and so it just doesn't work. So we had to record these, and now they're going to align them in time so that the image and the audio will go past your ears and face at the same time. It's quite a chore. So all that data has been now handed off to Sean, our front of house guy, and he's starting to line up the audio signals tonight, which is quite a task. There's 9 of us in the band, and some of us sent 2 tracks for each song. So there's no click track. Anyway, it's going to be a miracle if he gets it put together.
Sounds like a normal vigilante gig.
I know. And if he doesn't get it done, then he won't be seeing us anyway. So,
well,
we all usually just kind of play whenever we want to.
I wish he could do that when we play live.
Yeah, right.
Synchronize the timing. That would be great.
Yeah. So we should talk a little bit about the history of the band, because some people will be looking at this and maybe don't remember or don't know very well. But it started on a loose Saturday afternoon, I think, in 1975 at Randy's house. What street was that? Do you guys remember what street he was on?
I know where it is.
Remind me. I should have looked it up. Spring Street, I think, wasn't it? It was where Spring Street comes around behind Main Street or California Street. Whatever Spring Street is, it kind of turns and comes back around behind California to the east of California. Anyway, and I was new, a transfer student. I knew nobody. I had my mutt in the car, and I was headed out for a hike because you're so close to the beautiful desert there. And look out as I'm driving, just trying to leave town, and there's a whole bunch of hippies with guitars standing at what turned out to be Randy's house and Dave's house. And they were just playing. So I turned around and got my harmonicas, not knowing anybody, and walked up, tapped who turned out to be Rob Geibitz on the back, and said, actually, he was always Rob Geibitz, but
still Rob Geibitz.
Yeah, he still is Rob Geibitz. And I said, what key are you in? And he said, G. So we just started playing. And I don't even remember, I was trying to remember last night how we stayed in touch, but so that's kind of the beginning. And Ed Brandt was the catalyst, our banjo player from way back. And it was months later that people were trying to figure out how I got invited, because it was an invite only, and nobody invited me, but nobody knew. So by then it was too late. So there's nothing they could do.
Happens all the time.
So Barry, how did you get into band?
I know.
I was up in Montana when you got into the band. I was working for the summer, when I came back, you were in the machine shop at Terra.
And, hey, I got these guys. They want you to come by and jam with them. And I said, great. It sounds like fun. Let's do it. And so we went over to Ed's house, which was on Spring Street, right next to the police station. And
yeah, of course.
So I showed up, and the Vigilantes were there, and they were playing songs, but it wasn't a jam session. It was more like a rehearsal. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. And so they kept playing songs and stopping in the middle and yelling at each other, and then finally, after about an hour of that, they said, okay, excuse us for a minute. And they all went off in another room. And I'm like, Murph, what the fuck's going on here? And then finally, they all come back out of the room, and they said, okay, you're in. And I'm like, I'm in what? They said, you're in the Vigilantes. So that's how I got in.
That's hilarious. You know, and then we went through a period of about 2 years trying to find a drummer. And we went through several different drummers. It's hard to be a bluegrass drummer or whatever it is that we do. And finally, after many, many years, Borden found Jeff Baseheart in California and started bringing him to Socorro with us. And that was a match made in heaven. We're a better band for having Jeff around.
Yeah, really stabilized things. I just looked it up. Randy's house was on 6th Street, the one behind the old grocery market there.
That's it.
So, Denby,
and then
Denby
and Bill and Marcy and I had a little group in Austin that played around, and through that mix, we ran into Brucey, and Brucey played with us some, and then I think we brought him first out to Hamas, if I remember right, and he fit right in, and he's been a part of it ever since.
Yep. And
Randy showed up like Borden did. We were playing on stage at this place called Art's Rib House in Austin, Texas, and it was kind of a groovy place to play. And all of a sudden, I look over, and there's this banjo player stepping up and sitting right in. I never seen him before, and so after the set break, I said, "How did that guy get invited?" And Marcy goes, "Oh, I invited him." I said, "Oh, well." But anyway, that's been good.
And other than that, we've been pretty solid the whole, whatever it is, 41 years or something crazy. Randy took about a 10-year hiatus, but then when his situation, got so that he could rejoin, he came in and has been back with us for quite a while now and brought some new tunes in, which is always fun. Yeah, so I think that's it. Denby, you joined a little bit late, didn't you? You were.
No, I was there before Barry. Actually, I think it was the summer that you were in Montana, and Ed Brandt and Geibitz and I started jamming together, and then DT was there that summer. So we spent a summer just playing with the four of us, and then in the fall, I think Randy came back, you came back. Maybe we'd hired Barry along the way, somewhere in there.
Hired.
But it was, yeah, I don't think I joined until maybe 7.
Hired. The only reason they let me in the band is because I was the only one that had a job, and so I brought beer to every rehearsal.
Dude, you made $6 an hour. You were rich.
I know. I was living large.
And you had a truck.
Yeah, you had a truck.
And I had a truck. Yeah.
Right. But back in those days, there really was. I mean, as lovely as Socorro is, and I mean, I appreciate it now more than then because the desert's just right there. You could go right away out across the river, and it's just gorgeous up Border Canyon or what have you. But there's really was nothing else to do in the evenings. So every day we would sit around and say, well, I don't want to see you anymore. Or I don't want to play music, and you suck. And so then we go our separate ways and go home and sit there for about a half hour, and then the phone would start ringing. What are you doing? I don't know. Well, come on over, we'll play. So, well, okay, I go over to Denby's, and then somebody else would call. So pretty soon we had a rehearsal going every night, it seemed, every night. And then Charlie Mandeville was trying to manage us during those periods, and he owned the Valverde. I think he still does. And then we moved into the ballroom or dining room of the Valverde. And is that a no? Doesn't?
No, I don't think he does anymore. But anyway.
No. Anyway, that was a really good rehearsal spot because we could leave it trashed, and the girls didn't care. So that was good. But yeah, so it's quite a few people tried to get in the band, but it was always frustrating for me every summer.
What girls? What
No,
girls
no,
are you
no, no.
talking about?
Like Cherie, didn't want us hanging out at the house, just trashing Denby's place. But every summer I came back and the roster had grown, and I go, what are we doing? Every time we just like 6 guys, now we got 9 guys. Anyway, we found the right number, and it's been a lot of fun. We're lucky that Earl and Joanna have adopted us at the Capitol. For decades, we went through troublesome managers where they would commit to a gig, we'd all get down there, and then they would hire a band from Albuquerque, and so we tried to scramble and get a place to play up on campus. But the last, whatever it's been, 15 years, it's just been a delight. They're close friends. It's an honor to be sort of the house band. It means more than it sounds like, being that it is the Capitol, but it's a special place, and so I'll be looking forward to when I can get back down there after the Corona's done, and we can go have a Corona at the Cap. So that'd be good.
Sounds good. Maybe we'll do it live next time.
Well, Barry was toying with the idea we might be able to be doing it now, but it's well, right now we couldn't because of this. But I think you're still on the mend. I'm on the mend. I'm in good shape, and Barry's still working at it. So we'll see. But I know the guys would love to do it. So we'll do it in a heartbeat. Maybe we don't have to wait till 49ers.
That'd be great.
Thanks, Ellie, for being fans of the band and for making us have the fun we did playing. And we've loved it. Love you guys, and stay well. And we'll get through this thing, and hopefully with a better government. That'd be swell.
All right.
I had to sink down.
Yeah, cheers, guys, and we release the coro, and we'll be back for sure. Count on it.
Good. Same here. All right, you two. We'll take care. Thanks for your time today. Love you. We'll
See you later.
stay in touch.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.